Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. This week we're going to be working on our final essay, and this one is a big one. It counts 20% of your entire grade. The cause and effect counted 15, the comparison and contrast was 15, and the first essay we did, the analysis was 10. And so this is a big chunk of your grade. So I hope you'll do your very best on it. Now, it's not due until July the 22nd. So, yay for that. But there are going to be parts of the assignment that are due all along, including this week. Um, and so, this week, view my video, view the video on argument. Read the document for Essay 4 very carefully. I'll go over that with you in just a moment. And begin your research for Essay 4. So I'm not going to let you put it off. Go ahead now and identify what problem you're going to pursue and which solutions you will argue to solve the problem. Um, View all of your resources that are provided here for you about finding reliable sources, because I won't accept just anything for this. I want you to have good, reliable sources. And your graded assignment for this week is to complete a journal. So let's look the essay itself. Let's take a look at that first, because that's the most important document. So this is argument, problem, solution. It's a combination of two different types of essays. Argument, where you try to persuade someone, and a problem and solution. You will need 4 to 6 primary or secondary sources that pass the CRAP test. And the CRAP test is on the Moodle page, but let me just bring it up right now so you can see what I'm talking about. The acronym CRAAP stands for Currency, Relevance, Authority, Accuracy, and Purpose. And so if you can find sources that pass this CRAP test, then they will be acceptable for this essay. If they don't pass the CRAP test, then don't use them. Go and find something else to use. This is quite an elaborate scoring sheet. I'm not going to ask that you fill this out for your sources, but I do expect that you read through this and make sure that the sources that you use do pass this test. Okay, so back to the essay. It'll be MLA 8th edition. Make sure you have in-text citations as well as works cited entries. Given you a lot of feedback on making the in-text citation match the works cited entry. So you should know how to do that by now. The length for this would be 5+ pages, and before you freak out about the 5+ pages, just realize that if you include all that I'm asking for in this paper, in the directions here, you will have 5+ pages with no problem. Okay, so the objective for this essay is to explore controversial solutions to a world problem. And so, for the argument essay, you will focus on a problem you want a solution for, and you will propose a controversial solution for that problem. And by controversial, it means that it has more than one side. Some will say it's a good solution, others will object to the solution. You'll choose your problem from the 80,000hours.org website, the same thing that you used for your cause and effect. In fact, you may want to choose the same problem that you chose for Essay 3 since you're already familiar with that. And you may already have sources that you can use for this paper that came from writing Essay 3. Again, don't make it hard on yourself. So that is perfectly fine with me to use the same problem that you were writing about in Essay 3. Except this time, you're going to be focusing on the solution for that problem. And I put this here, highlighted it in red for you to see. If you want to choose something other than the problems on the 80,000hours.org website, you must get my approval. And here's some things that I will not approve. A legalization of any kind of drug, marijuana, anything else. I will not. I've just heard it, seen it too much on it, and so no. Same thing with abortion, gay marriage, or anything else that involves personal beliefs as your primary argument for or against it. So, no, I'm going to say no to those kinds of things. So just get those out of your head. You'll be safe if you stick with the 80,000hours.org problems, but some of you expressed interest in some pretty interesting topics in your Global Citizen Journal that are worthy of exploring for this paper, and as long as you get my permission to do them, then that is fine. Please don't end up with a 0 on this because you have chosen something that you know I will not approve, because I'm telling you right here I won't approve it. And the last thing I will not accept for this paper is anything that is specific only to the United States. So I know we've got plenty of problems in the United States, plenty of controversial solutions for those problems, but I want this focus to be a global issue, something that affects everywhere outside of the United States. Okay, so here's what you need for the argument essay. You would have choose your world problem, establish a claim for the solutions to the issue. For example, I just gave a thesis statement here. In argument, the thesis statement is called a claim. So I use this one. The problem of failed biosecurity should be solved by improved forecasting and early detection of outbreaks, and by improved international emergency response or quarantine plans. So see, in the claim, I have identified what the problem is, failed biosecurity, and then I have also put the two solutions: improved forecasting and early detection of outbreaks, and improved international emergency response or quarantine plans. So that's what you will need to do too. Now create an introductory paragraph with your claim as the final sentence, and then you're going to introduce it, and the journal that is the graded assignment for this week tells you specifically what needs to be in that introduction. And because that's what you're going to do when you create that introductory paragraph, you're going to submit it this week for a course grade in the journal. After that, for the following weeks, you're going to find at least 4 sources that provide evidence for your claim. They got to all pass the CRAP test. We've already talked about that. And you're going to establish different kinds of argument. You'll see this discussed in the video that I've asked you to watch about argument this week. Ethos, meaning is it ethical? Is it the right thing to do? Pathos, sympathy, empathy. Does it stir your emotions in some way? And logos, that logical type of argument where you back it up with evidence of numerical evidence and factual evidence. Although logos is going to be mainly what's here, but I expect to see some ethos and pathos in the arguments as well. One thing this essay does that we haven't really had to do in the past is not only are you going to present your side, you're going to have to look at what the other side says. Think about a court case when you have the prosecution and the defense. They're two different sides, and both of them have to know what the other side is talking about in order to make their own argument. So you have to do that here too. You're going to answer the opposition, discover what those who say your problem is not worthy of or of concern, or who say your solution will not work, report what they say, and then answer them with evidence that shows they are wrong. Create an outline for your essay following the template that's provided and submit the outline before midnight on July 15. So you'll see that template to fill out on the July 15 tab on the Moodle page. You want to draft the essay following your outline and then check your essay to make sure it has everything it needs to be an outstanding argument. Then you're going to edit and proofread it, add commentary as needed, check your citations, prepare the final draft to be submitted on the Turnitin link before midnight on July 22nd. So we have something due this week, the journal. We have something due on the 15th, which is the outline, and we have something due on the 22nd, which is the final essay. And because it's the end of the course, because I have a quick turnaround on grades, I can't accept late assignments for this. So please don't put this off. Please have this in on time and do us all a favor so that you don't end up blowing the course right there at the end. Okay, here's some additional suggested sources. These are things that have been vetted, and I feel sure that they're good sources. Just to remind you, you may not use Wikipedia. Just no to Wikipedia. Every academic class that you have, you'll hear the teachers say the same thing. Don't use Wikipedia. Suggested organization. There's that, and of course you'll have the more thorough template when we do the when the outline is due. Excuse me, lost my concentration there. Okay, so how do you get started? You want to analyze a problem, propose a method for solving it. Problem should analyze. You choose to analyze should be one that offers some challenges, but that is still possible to resolve. And by resolving, not necessarily solve it so that it doesn't exist anymore, but improve it, make it better, make the situation better. Here are the things that the problem solution essay should have, and these are things that you're going to be looking into as you do your research. You've got to define the problem to be solved. You're going to do that in your introductory paragraph. Once you do your research, you may want to set up a little guide like this to look at the solutions so that you'll know what they are. So, for instance, here, for failed biosecurity, since I used that claim earlier, here are the two possible solutions, and then the evaluation. How do we get this funded? How do we get individual surveillance systems to want to connect different ones from all over the world? How are we going to get the world together on this problem? And then the other solution here, and how is it going to be funded? That's always a major question. We can't afford it. There's not enough money, blah, blah, blah. So consider these things as you are doing your research on your problem and solution. Information about writing the thesis statement, the research, the three logical solutions, and how to answer the opposition. It's just more of the same information, just in a different document. Okay, so back to the Moodle page. Here are the resources that I mentioned about making sure they're reliable sources. There's that CRAP worksheet, and there is other information. It's a little video that you can watch. and then this little short article on ways to avoid plagiarism by not copying without attributing the source, using correct paraphrasing and that sort of thing. And here is the little video I was talking about, understanding the refugee crisis. He talks really super fast. There are places in here where it will stop and you'll have to actually answer something, type something in to continue. But it's really good because he provides a really good spoken um, essay, if you will. And so he covers all the parts. He answers the opposition, and he does all of that in there. So I have provided for you a sample introduction paragraph, one that you can look at. But please do not copy it. But you can use the pattern. You can see kind of what goes into that. And so it is also a sample of Essay 4, but particularly for this assignment for your journal, you may want to look at the introduction paragraph of that. Again, do not copy it. That's my work. Do your own work, but you can use mine as an example to go by. So that's it for this week. On July 2nd through July 8th is spring break at the college, and summer break, not spring break, summer break, and the college will be closed, and no assignments will be due that week. So you have something due Sunday night before that week starts, but nothing due that week. On the 15th, you have the outline that's due, and on the 22nd, you have the paper that's due. Our little short week here, the 23rd through the 25th, because we had a little short week to begin with, this short week will be the final exam essay. I'm going to make these things available so that you can look ahead at them as I get them completed. So have a great week. Contact me if you need any help. And again, make sure you're spending your time and effort on something that I'm going to approve. If it's anything other than one of those 80,000hours.org, ask me first. All right, talk to you later. See you next time.